Okay, welcome back to Teal House Farm. We haven't done a day in the life video in a while, so I thought I'd bring you along for the ride because it's going to be a crazy day, right, Pat? It's going to be crazy. All because of a... You are? Ooh, that looks nice. All because of a story I'm going to tell you. It's the most ridiculous story of a tooth. But the girls just finished school. It's about 10:30, so I'm trying to get all the bags packed to go, and we'll take you along for the day. You're down here? Yeah. Hi, Pat. So, story of a tooth that should never have happened. Hey, okay, buddy, I need you to find a shirt and a clean pair of undies to pack just in case you have an accident. All right, I had to step outside. They were listening to music and doing all sorts. It was just loud inside, and then I thought the music might get this video, like, copyright slammed, so outside. Anyway, the story of a tooth that never should have happened. It's been a saga for a year, and that's why today is crazy. So about a year ago, took Annie in just for regular dental cleaning, and she just had just a tiny cavity. It wasn't a big deal, but Annie has a hard time with dentists. Not her favorite place. They decided they were going to try to fill it in the office, you know, like a regular cavity filling, and it did not go well. It was not a positive experience for anybody, and they weren't able to fill the cavity. Now, typically with younger kids who have a lot of dental anxiety, they give them laughing gas to calm them down, and then you're able to get in there and fix the tooth and you're all done. But because Annie has epilepsy, they will not do laughing gas in the office. You have to do it in the hospital in case she has a seizure. And our dentist does not do surgery or anything in the hospital. He only works outpatient. So he referred us to what is the only dental clinic in central Missouri that takes special needs children to do dental procedures in the hospital with nitrous. There's just one. And so we had an appointment with them, and it went really, all I can say is it went really poorly. And he did great, but the dentist was just basically a jerk. Really didn't really believe us about Annie's medical history, which is the weirdest experience because, like, you can clearly see, you know, the outward signs of her cerebral palsy, and, you know, we've got documentation of her epilepsy and all that kind of stuff. It was just the weirdest experience. And anyway, they said that if we wanted to have her have the tooth fixed in the hospital, they said they would not use nitrous in the office, which is what the other dentist had said. But if we wanted to do it in the hospital, it was our expense. They were not going to bill the insurance, and it was like $5,000 that we did not have because at the time Sam was still finishing nursing school. And they said the other option was to do behavioral health therapy, where they would desensitize her to the dental office, and then they could do the procedure without nitrous, was the hope. And I was like, well, I guess that's my only option because I don't have the money to pay for it in the hospital. You're the only people in central Missouri that take medically complicated children to do dental procedures, so I felt kind of boxed in. So I said, all right, even though it's 80 miles each way and you want me to come once a week for like a month, which is a huge commitment for our family because I have other children who have needs and things, I said, I will make it happen. Let's do it, and we'll get this tooth fixed before it gets bad. And then it was 6 months of waiting. I called that office every other week asking for the referral to behavioral health because behavioral health would not help us until they had a referral from the dentist. I kept asking, and they kept finding excuses on why it hadn't been sent, and oh, it's this so-and-so, or oh, we sent it and they didn't get it. Finally, it got past Christmas. The tooth had been just getting progressively worse, and at this point it was starting to cause her pain, and you could clearly see the cavity now. So I started calling any dental office that our insurance would take, no matter how far away it was, and asked if they would take medically complicated children with epilepsy, if they would do dental procedures on them, if they had hospital permissions. Finally, after probably 4 or 5 phone calls, I found one that had permissions at St. Louis Children's Hospital, which is where she already goes for all of her other services, other specialists. And I was like, oh good, finally got this solved. I explained the situation, that I hadn't been able to get her tooth fixed, that I'd been really trying to work with this other place, but they just were not scheduling her to get it fixed. And the lady said, oh, I'm really sorry, we only take kids who have been referred from one of our pediatricians at Children's Hospital. I see that her pediatrician is not at Children's Hospital, so we can't take her. And then she hung up the phone, and that was the end of that. So I did the only thing I could think of doing. I waited a day, I called back and got a different secretary who picked up the phone, and I immediately said that I needed to schedule a child who had epilepsy, who needed a special needs dentist, and I said, I know that you do not take children unless they are referred by one of your pediatricians. They said, but we live 2 hours away from the hospital. She sees 6 or 7 different specialists at the hospital, but our pediatrician is not there because that makes no sense. I can't drive 2 hours every time she has, you know, something I want to get swabbed for strep. Our pediatrician is close to our house. I said, is there any way that you could please take her, because she is in pain and I cannot find somebody that will fix her tooth. And the lady said, well, you know, we're really not supposed to, but we have a new dentist who's starting. Let me see if she'll take her, just because her schedule is not full yet, because she's, you know, basically brand new out of dental medical school. And so they ended up taking her, thank goodness. They actually got her in 2 weeks later, and they saw the tooth and how bad it was at that point, and they brought us back in the next day, even though it's 2 hours back and forth. We did it. We went back again the next day, and they fixed it, and they were wonderful. But anyway, by the time they fixed it, they told us, they said, you know, obviously this should have been fixed a long time ago. We're sorry that you weren't able to get somebody to fix it for you. And they said, we don't want to pull the tooth because she's little, and then you'll have to have a like orthodontic treatment with spacers until the big tooth comes in. So we've tried to salvage it with like a silver crown and I guess maybe a root canal. I don't really remember. It was a big deal. But she's like, there's a chance that the tooth is just too far gone and you could get an infection and then you need to bring her back right away. So it seems for a couple months like we were okay, but then we noticed over the weekend that the gum was definitely puffy. And then then we asked her, you know, hey, does it hurt? Does it feel uncomfortable when you eat? And she was like, yeah, sometimes when I bite on that side, it hurts a little bit. And so we called back, send in pictures, and they were like, oh yeah, she definitely needs to come back in. And so that's what we're doing today. So yesterday I called in and they were like, the only time we can get her in is tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And so that's what we're aiming for. The only problem is Sam has to work today at 3. St. Louis is 2 hours in the wrong direction, and you cannot take 7 children to the dentist. Well, you can, but then you can't go back with your child, and she does not do well at the dentist. Even though these people are great, she would not go back if mommy did not go with her. So Sam is going to bring some kids to town with him when he goes into work and drop them off at a friend's house who was so gracious to watch them for what is probably going to be about an hour overlap. And then I'm still going to try to get everybody to their activities tonight because we have dance and gymnastics for most of the kids, and they look forward to this day of the week so much. And I really didn't want them to be disappointed by having to miss, because it just means a lot to them, especially when you're homeschooled and you get to go to activities to see friends and stuff. It's really important. So we're going to try to get it all done. We're going to see if they'll fix the tooth. I have a feeling they're going to look in her mouth and be like, this is just a consultation appointment. You have to come back to get it pulled, and which is going to be another 2 hours to St. Louis and 2 hours back on another day this week. But at least we'll get it fixed, and this tooth will be gone, and we'll never have to experience this again. Okay, but to get out of here on time, we need to eat lunch real quick. And so today we're just doing a hodgepodge. We're just kind of things that are quick. So we're going to do crackers and these little, they're actually not pepperoni, they're salamis. But so it's kind of like a Lunchable. I'm going to make hard-boiled eggs. The baby's just going to finish off some leftover peas and carrots from last night's dinner. And the kids will probably have just like carrot sticks or whatever kind of raw veggie I have in the fridge. So we're going to throw this together super fast so that we can get out of here on time. I like to make hard-boiled eggs in the Instapot. It's super easy. So it's a cup of water, then you put your hard-boiled eggs in there, and then you put the lid on, and put it on manual 5 minutes. Let it depressurize for 5 minutes, and then put them in your ice water. They peel perfect every single time. I will never make hard-boiled eggs any other way. So thank you to whoever the viewer was that suggested that a long time ago. It's been the most awesome hack. We'll get the plates made here. Everything's set out. I got some cutie oranges as well, and now the eggs are done. We'll get these cooled off and peeled. See, watch this. It's so easy. It slips right off. Even the farm fresh eggs, this slips right off. It's so easy. So there you go for your Thanksgiving deviled eggs. Everybody's gonna eat some lunch. I crammed down a sandwich real fast, and then we get ready to go. We're gonna fill up the water bottles. We've packed our bags. We need to put them in the van and the truck. Okay, going to town with Sam in the van. Micah's dance stuff, right? We dance tonight. We got an extra pair of clothes for Pat in case he has an accident, because I'll have the diaper bag. We have tablets for the kids that do not have gymnastics or dance tonight, so they have something to do while they're waiting. And then there's dinner packed. I don't want to have to buy everybody dinner in town. That gets super expensive. So I pack all the sides, and then they can choose a burger, nuggies, or a taco from Taco Bell to go with their fruit and vegetables and stuff. Hey, we're not leaving yet. Well, I'm leaving, but you're not leaving yet, okay? I'm going to take the stroller out of the van and put it in the truck, because that's how we're getting to the city.
Wait, can I push her when we get to the city?
You're going to push her at the dentist office? So that way Sam only has to remember to bring the kids that are still here to my friend's house, water bottles for them, everything else is packed. They have to wear their gymnastic stuff if they have gymnastics, right? Mm-hmm. Wear it there so we don't have to get changed. Sound good?
Yeah.
Are you ready to get out of here, Booze? You coming with me and Nanny? All right, we're on our way. Me, Nanny, and the baby. I've left about 30 minutes before we should arrive. So if we hit traffic, we have a little extra time, because there almost is always traffic. If we get there early, then we get there early, and maybe they'll see us early. Probably not, right? Ready, Nanny?
Yeah.
Let's go. It's about an hour and a half to the dentist, but sometimes it's more like 2 hours. So we left with 2 hours in mind, and if we get there early, we get there early and have an extra 30 minutes. So we did actually arrive exactly at an hour and a half. There was no traffic, which was awesome. So that gave me enough time to feed the baby. And then we were able to get in a little early for the check-in. I had Annie dressed for gymnastics just so we didn't have to worry about getting changed if we're running late. She did so well. I'm super proud of her. They pulled the tooth and they gave her a popsicle for her troubles. And then it's 2 hours to where Sam works. We have to go past where we live to a different city, but we found our van. He came and met us so we could switch keys. And then I have the van now, and we're gonna go pick up the kids from my friend's house. We rushed on to gymnastics and made it with literally a minute to spare. The kids did great though. They always love their classes. JJ and Ivy especially just absolutely love gymnastics. It's their very favorite thing. Then we got Micah to dance. As I was saying, dinner. So we packed bananas, we packed chips, we packed, what else we packed? Yogurt. Where's the trays? Here they are. I keep trays in the van so that we make less of a mess. And then they get to pick something for their main, is what we do. It helps keep the cost down, but they still get the fun treat of being able to eat out and eat something warm, so they could choose. There's a whole bunch of fast food restaurants all in a row, and so they can choose any of them. The little kids always choose McDonald's. That's always what they choose. So that's pretty easy. But the bigger guys are a little bit more of a, you never know. So a couple of them chose hamburgers from McDonald's, but Micah wanted a slider from Arby's, so we got that for her. And Ivy wanted a taco from Taco Bell. And then Panera Bread sent me a thing for a free sandwich, which doesn't happen very often. And so I went and got that for myself, because I am super sick of fast food. So we're gonna get these kids fed, and we're gonna pick up Micah, and then we're gonna go home and we'll close up the day. We are done, we are home, everyone is finally in bed. It's probably my least favorite thing is, after a long day like that, is having to come home, unpack the van, and then have to get everyone ready for bed, which is a big undertaking anyway, when they aren't extra tired, the little guys, from being dragged around everywhere. So it's not usually this crazy, because we don't try to cram a dentist appointment 2 hours away in the wrong direction in the day too, but it's done. They pulled the tooth. Her mouth is much happier. She's much happier. Her other teeth look great. It was just that one tooth that took so long to get taken care of that it was just too messed up. So the dentist is going to kind of wait and see whether or not we really need a spacer, because spacers are not covered by dental insurance. It's an orthodontic treatment, and they're kind of expensive. So she said there's a good chance, because they pulled the baby tooth, that the adult tooth will come through early instead of waiting until she's like 11 or 12. And so we're just going to keep an eye on it. And if the adult tooth doesn't seem to be working its way up, then we'll probably have to put a spacer in there so that her teeth don't all crowd together. Not have room for adult teeth. But she did really well. I'm super proud of her. Dentists, like I said, are not her favorite place, but she did great. And they were great with her like usual. So we're very thankful for that. Anyway, I got to unpack all this, close up shop for the day, and it's already 9:30, so I'm ready for bed. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all again really soon.